What's all this fucking shit on the wall?
Blood. It's my inspiration to get my teeth fixed finally. I woke up for like a month straight just with blood in my mouth.
And that's how did it get on the wall? Spitting?
Yeah. 14 dental appointments. And they're still fucked up. I know it's gross. People probably think it's fucked up, but I mean, every day you come in here and you got like, what am I not gonna look at it? I'm just gonna be like, spit it out. I just had to see it just to make sure. Yeah, so I had to look at it every day and knowing how crazy it was getting that it was just a reminder of just how bad it was.
Hi, welcome back to the show. This episode's about Jason Dill. And I know we already did a Jason Dill episode, but while I was making that, I was looking at all his old parts and stuff, and I thought it'd be cool to do sort of the history of Jason Dill.
My very, very, very first ad was, I was sitting in a shopping cart with Carol sitting in the front. It's Carol, Ben Chibber, and Anthony Oglesby. Me and Anthony Oglesby are the little guys. Carol is only like a year and a half, 2 years older than me. But I remember them being like, hey, go get Carol to go shoot this ad. And fucking, what? Like, I'm not gonna talk to this dude. Like, it's Mike fucking Carroll. You know, my first video part was an A1 Meets video where...
And is that the one where you're running through doing like cartwheels?
Yeah, and we doing flips and shit. I was 12. I filmed for 3 days. I can big spin that. I can 360 flip that. Like, just, all right, do it. I don't remember, like, ever taking time out to check out. I remember seeing Ocean and Marcus, like, really try shit. I remember I got driven to 7th Street to skate the hip. And I remember this one kid had a box out front of his house, so I did like a nose bunk 360 and I laid some gap there. Instead of like, yeah, I'm just gonna go fucking, I was a little kid, you know, like, I'm gonna go all this big gap. Or, you know, like, Rick Howard, he taught me how to do a big spin to frontside board slide the day before I got on block pad, and I tried it at my contest run for some reason, like the day after. Who the fuck knows how I made it to here, Jesus Christ. But he's thinking about it in that perspective. And then, so, if you could only imagine, like, fast forward to me skating with Ocean. Like, those dudes were so far in advance compared to my prepubescent mind. I mean, I'm sure Hensley and them were doing it before, but I didn't have the opportunity to go skate with Hensley in my prepubescent years.
So, did you skate with Jeremy Ray?
Yeah. I feel it's weird. I was talking to someone about this recently. Like, I don't even remember how I met Jeremy. I remember people doing pressure flips, but Jeremy was doing over knee-high kick flips. Like, so he was a really big influence on my whole deal.
And what was the clip where he does a gap and you're in the flip?
The color video. And I know I'm in that video because I tried to ollie that gap with Jeremy. No, I didn't come anywhere near Jeremy. I don't think I got over it. I don't think I got my board over it with my body.
Where is that? Where's the mark?
Give me 5.
Over here. How to do that? That nobody can. I don't believe it. It can't be possible. I don't believe what I just saw. I don't believe what I just saw. But I don't believe what I just saw. Look at these marks. Look at these marks.
I never thought about it until later, you know? Thinking about it right now, like, I never thought of myself being in Jeremy Ray's shadow. I was in Jeremy Ray's shadow. Like, but not in a bad way. Those dudes were so fucking gnarly. It really helped me shape and have what feeds me today. Man, I've had a fucking weird, wild ride. When I was like a fucking child, how the fuck my mother, how she let me do this, I do not know. My mom got this job and she went up to a business trip in San Francisco. Took me with her, skated the streets by myself. I'm talking about sweatpants, Converse, and a Batman t-shirt with a mullet. I was a goofy white kid from Huntington Beach, man. I was just enjoying being there. I wasn't even worried about being accepted. So that was my little early EMB niche that I somehow sorted out on my own. And then by the time I was 15, I already wrote for Spitfire and shit. So it's like, I think I just got accepted. At that time, which was kind of rad, I think they just lumped me, Jeremy, and Jonas together, and they were like, fuck, all right, you're on the team too.
Were you there when Gino did the backside heel flip?
No, I wasn't there when Gino did the backside heel flip. I talked to Gino on the phone. I was just thinking about it, that's when you mentioned that Spitfire video. What happened with the Spitfire video was that I didn't ride for anybody except for Spitfire and Thunder. And within that time frame, I had already started filming with this dude, Dave Schlossbach, that was friends with Brian Lottie, that was trying to get Gino and I to do this offshoot company of World Industries. And then, thank God, fucking right before Brian Lottie left skateboarding, he left our footage on Natis's desk. Natis had a desk to leave footage on. Natis called Gino's house. I remember sitting there being like, fucking Natis is on the phone. And he was like, do you want to ride for 101? So we got on 101 and immediately released Snuff. Was the footage of us skating just World and Blind and 101 Plan B boards.
I remember you telling me one time that they saw your 101, whatever, your tape to get on 101 or something, and Rodney or somebody was like, oh yeah, we like you, but I don't know about your friend Gino. Am I remembering that wrong?
There's no way. Because Gino was already so well respected before he even really hit that scene that I kind of went on his coattails. I think I had such a big mouth when it came down to what my opinion was that the people that I did business with were like, well, this fucking little loudmouth kid, he's so about it, like, fuck it, throw him out there and see what he does. And I think I've been thrown out there so many times to see what I can do that I ended up just having to become as big as I thought my britches were or whatever. I know how anticlimactic it sounds, but then I was pro. I don't really remember. And then the whole 101 thing kind of turned into like a really rad thing though. Yeah, right after Snuff was 20-shot sequence.
Oh, yeah.
And what happened was I hurt my knee. I tore my ACL in half and yeah, so that video came out with a super small part, the 20-shot sequence video, but Natis let me help him edit that 101 section. My mom had seen enough of me around the house and was just not stoked on how bummed out I was, I'm sure she really felt for me. And the very first clip of me coming back is that line at Flushing. It's the first time I skated in 8-9 months.
What was the line?
The heel flip over the grate with the pipe, nollie back swing on flat, switch 5-0, switch front 780 out. And that was the beginning of Trilogy. Yeah, my part in that video was fucking balls to the wall, man. I mean, I think that was everything I'd ever achieved to been was in that video part. Like, up until that point, I think that's everything I ever worked for. Finally, as gnarly as Gino's part was in that video, I felt finally I had my own niche. I achieved all my goals in 19. Anything after that was just icing on the cake. By the time that came out, Natis quit, and I got kicked off. So the day Trilogy came out, I got kicked off.
But you're in it.
Yeah.
So, okay. Why'd they do that?
Because I stole boards. Because I was.
Oh, I heard about that.
I had no money. Gino made $1,500 a month, and I made $1,000. One day we went to World Industries, and they were like, "You're not getting paid this month." With Trilogy, Trilogy mastered tape, done. Parts done. You're not getting paid.
How many boards did you steal?
36. Because then I can get, if I had 36 boards, I could pay my rent and get an ounce of pot. And then I just live off top ramen and Kool-Aid like I've been doing. That memory screen blew me away. If anybody's seen memory screen, it just like, I remember, and Carter's like, you were into it? Like a little kid? Like that whole first part? I was like, yeah, it's like I'd sing the song to that middle section. I can't forget to tell you something that you're gonna think's funny and probably use it after this. But when I was skating for 23, I was going to SF a lot during that fit shit because I rode for a company called CO Wheels. CO was short for cocaine. So stupid. What age is that? Like 21? It's like 21 years old. Going to SF all the time, smoking cocaine blunts, being nutty. Like turning into that weird dude who'll just take drugs when he's with you and not tell you. Like that was never me, but I turned into that. It was really strange, period. In my 23 ad, it's that ollie over the frontside tail side of that pole. We have to do the gap thing. Henry Sanchez had wrote Michael Bolton ass looking motherfucker. And I remember being so hurt by it. And then just being one of those things like, well, fuck. At least one of the gnarly dudes wrote it. Yeah, and then I remember being like towards the end of my contest skating days, and I went to a contest in Canada, and all I did was hang out with Deerdick and Kalis. I came home for that contest, and it said I rode for Alien Workshop in the new Slap magazine. So I called Chris Carter, knowing him, and I was like, hey, it says I write for Workshop in the new magazine. I just want you to know I have nothing to, that's not me. He's like, I know. And I think he said something along the lines of like, no, we okayed it. That's cool. And they just knew. They knew I wanted to write for Workshop because I tried to get on Workshop when I got kicked off 101. Carter, he always calls bullshit on it, but I remember getting Memory Screen. It was yellow. It was a VHS yellow tape. I liked Dinosaur Jr. I knew who they were. Carter always called, no, you did. Fucking bullshit. You didn't know. Yeah. Pfft. Just Alien Workshop is just such a fucking sick, smart company. Like, I always adored them. And so it was a pleasure to be in Workshop. It was really great. But the video that people always come up to us about is the fucking feedback video. People love that goddamn video. And we put Ty through so much shit making that video, because we made that video right before we put our Alien part out. Poor Ty was making that feedback video of us, like totally showing us, showcasing us in that section. And we were like, fuck this shit, Ty, let's for our Alien part, fuck a transworld video, fuck transworld video, what the fuck transworld, that's bullshit, we didn't know what it was gonna look like. And then that fucking feedback video came out, everyone had just the raddest parts in it. Kids like that were born when that part came out still come up at a demo. Feedback. They love that video.
Dude, this is your big video. This is it.
Okay. All right. No problem. I'm only skating. I'm just skating. I swear. That's it. That's all. So far, I heard I got the last part and all that shit, so I'm so psyched.
You know what the last part means, don't you?
I do.
That's the curtains.
A lot of people don't believe this, but they started recording me for about a year straight without telling me. So what you see in Photosynthesis is a mixture of conversations me and Carter had over a year. And that's not Carter you see at the desk. It's just a stock photo they found on some guy at a desk. And my mom thought that was Carter for years until she met him, actually. So Photosynthesis took about 2 years of work. I think for so long, I always felt that if this is what I'm going to do, I'd want to be individualistic, and I'd want people to know me for me and not part of some big team or whatever.
Everyone always talks about the walking down the stairs.
No, I just thought it worked. I was trying to film a line, and what was it? Originally, it was just a backswing heel flip over that barricade. And so then I started doing a stupid fucking 360 flip that I ate shit on so bad up at the top of the street. And that spot got demolished after 9/11. But what it was, like, you cruise down this small street, and the fakie shove it over the bench, because I've always loved that trick, and no one does that very much. And then to pick up the board, I just figured it would transfer so well to walk down the stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4 down, and then you jump that. That was a pretty fucking big gap that was there then. I mean, I was a much younger man at the time. It's just part of the video. And then the reaction I've gotten out of that over the years is just insane.
So then my brother Joe hit me in the chin one time real hard. I turned around and thought, Joe, why you hit me in the chin? It's not necessary. Don't hit me in the chin anymore. I don't like it, okay? So Joe comes over, gets a gun, shoots me in the stomach, shoots another guy over there really fast, shoots him down. Right? Everybody's freaking out. Everybody's going crazy. I'm like, Joe, stop shooting everybody, man. This is crazy. All those people are gonna die. I can't